At the end of humanity's darkest century, a curious symbiosis between man and machine emerged. This eventually enabled humans to leave their natural bodies and to free their minds from obsolete constraints. With their brains sustained by artificial means, space travel also became feasible. Other civilizations were encountered. And peaceful intergalactic trade soon established. Now, the growing civilizations create a huge demand for resources, which can only be satisfied by the ever-expanding frontier. Competition is brutal and anything goes in this galactic gold rush. You will now join it on a venture to an untapped planet. Prepare to assume Cortex Command! Ow. Alright. I'm sorry. I just felt that deserved its own voiceover. It really does. Also, the music gets really loud and upbeat here. So it's like... I might have to turn down the music at the background for this part, depending on how it's balanced. But yes... This is Mark 3 and welcome to Cortex Command, and oops, there goes an escape pod. He's not happy about it. Bye bye. And this is related to Planetoid Pioneers. I didn't know the people behind Planetoid Pioneers, which is one that I am watching, made Cortex Command, which is one that I was kind of watching but lost track of, so, you know. You guys are awesome. Alright, welcome to Cortex Command. It's kind of like an odd little side-based RTS/base builder thing. It's a thing, okay? Let's settle on that. Let's call it a thing, quote unquote. This was supposed to be the mini-series for last week, except that I had some serious glitches in recording it. And even now, I'm not using my main recording software, I'm actually using my backup recording software because my main one just won't capture this. So, this thing does not play well with XSplit, as you do. But anyway, let's get started. I figured for this mini-series we would be playing a campaign game. I am, frankly, quite bad at this game, to be completely honest with you, but, you know, we can but fumble through. No thanks, I don't want the tutorial. I have actually been trying to get good at this, and it's like, nope, 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 you can't do that. Right, 10 brains. Right, how this works, campaign. Actually, I should back out and shut the show a little bit, shouldn't I? Back to main menu. Right, there's actually a ton of different game modes in this, in scenario battle mode, including some like blank practice modes where you can visit the individual maps. There's the tutorial. If I scroll up, there's things like keep your rocket alive until the time is up. What? Then this one is build a base, dig as much gold as you can, and then sites where this activity is played. So, not all maps are good for all activities. Now there's also wave defense mode. There's hunts and explorations, a dummy assault. So you can play as attacker, defender. It's staggering how many different modes they've crammed into the scenario mode. Actually, most games have like a tenth of this at most in terms of different scenario options, and this game has actually had them configured for all of the different things. Like if I press test activity, this is the total number of maps available in the game at this point, and it's like they've gone through it and they've configured its different things. Like I can set exploration, explore there and find a treasure, look out for surprises. The only site that's yeah, this is the only one where it's like the only one, but you got to go in and explore basically. But yeah, there's so many different things. Okay, anyway, back to the main menu. So if you're playing around the scenario option alone, that's like a lot of log empty light there. This game also has local co-op, so you can have multiple people playing on the same thing. An oversight though is like, well, we call it an oversight, and people clamour for this on just about every game that's not got it. And that's online multiplayer is lacking, it's not there. Ooh, you must install it. and they forget that it's like one of the more difficult things to code into a game. So it's understandable if it's like left or not there, depending on the game and the experience of the people that made it. So yeah, no online multiplayer, unfortunately. Let's go into campaign though, so we can see what we're going. New campaign, please. Right, campaign is like a land grab. You have turns and you get 10 brains on this length setting. You lose when you run out of brains, because the goal in every fight is to kill the enemy brain while keeping your own brain alive. So basically the on-site commander kind of thing. It was actually rather fragile. And then you can set this like game size, number of sites that will eventually be revealed on the map. Note that only a subset of all the sites loaded into the game will be available in even the largest game. So it changes up exactly how many sites will appear as the game goes on. And then we've got starting gold, 2,000. I'm going to leave that on like 4 sites. That seems quite reasonable. I'm team 1, AI is team 2. No handicap. My player name is not player 1. I am Ion Mark 3. Thank you. And I struggle against average AI. I really do. So it's like, in a straight up fight, the average AI tends to win. So it's like, I have to be sneaky and like do silly things like drop ships on them and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, I struggle in direct fighting, though I am much better than I was. So let's put it that way. I'm going to set a random technology. Well, I'm going to set a technology actually, because we've got we've got a basic set of tech available to every faction. So we get basic stuff no matter what. And then we've got these individual factions which have their own soldiers, their own weaponry. You can still buy things from the others, but it costs you an arm, 2 legs, and maybe your soul, because you are selling out by buying the competitor's technology. How dare you do that? How dare you do that? You're a non-person to me now. But yeah, this is nice, because it's like you get different flavors. You can still get the stuff, but it's really tricky otherwise. I think I'm going to go with... Is it Tachyon that I like? No, it's not Tachyon. Tachyon's got the Silvermen. No. I think it's Imperatus, actually, that I like out of the factions. So I'm going to just grab that. Factions. Imperatus. And the enemy's going to be random, so I don't know what the hell they're going to get. Let's start the game. Day 1. So we start the day. It brings up a couple of sites. The other 2 sites, since I've told this to allow up to 4 for this, will appear as time goes on. So now it is my turn to begin. And I decide what to do. I can mount a single attack on somewhere, and I can also send money to reinforce a site I already own, but the thing is no one owns any sites yet. So I'm going to look at these sites because I don't know what's in them yet. So I can do a surface scan now. So I want to scan this site and see what kind of terrain we're dealing with, because ideally I want to land in a place that's not going to be too hard for me to take over, you know? Because I've got to fight the enemy. This place is flat plains for the most part, some hills, a bit of sand. Yeah, nothing super spectacular here. That is quite alright. I'll just pause, don't move for a moment, and it says, do you want to go back? Yes, I want to go back, thank you. So now I know what that map looks like. Now I'm going to scan the mountains. Actually, the mountains are going to be tricky anyway. I'm going to save a scan for later on that. So schedule a scan. So I've paid my money, but it's holding on to the scan for later when I choose to use it. So instead, I'm going to just like dump all of my money into an expedition to the Vesod Plains, because it's a really flat map, really easy to get to grips with. So odds are I might actually be able to take it if the AI goes to the same place. So I'm going to be sending 1 brain down over there. And the AI is also going there as well. Don't worry, this is not a guaranteed thing. I have seen the AI go to other places as well. So on the first, sometimes it's the AI chooses basically. I've seen the AI take the other site when I've gone after one of them several times while I was messing around trying to work the game out. So yeah, here we go. Right, we land. Where do I want to land? I want somewhere which is, you know what, let's go and land on this big hill. let's land here. This initial landing, so it's just like your basic guy and your brain. And the enemy, as you can see, is like dropping in as well. Here we go. I am this basic brain guy. I'm going to actually set me to AI mode, then I'll switch control to the local turret. And my brain is going to start digging a hole. Quite simply. So I've got control of this. And the thing is, if you set your AI to do this straight away, then you get control of your basic stuff. Oh, they managed to crash their dropship. Oh, how lovely of them. Yep, nothing's going on. Alright, so let's start. All of your troops, I'm going to clear out all my presets actually. Clear. Thank you. Alright. All of your troops come down from the... I heard a ship, I think. And I'm going to select it with a... yeah, with a basic dropship, and then I'm going to save that as a preset. I wish it didn't like... I'm kind of worried they're going to be attacking. Yep, they're attacking. Alright. Sentry drone, protect me! Oops, something got too close and got shot down. Boom. And now, as you can see, I'm just like going daka with my sole defensive drone. There's nothing else incoming, is there? Not really. Alright, good. Right, let's go ahead and bring in this, which is skeletons armed with digging tools. Which I'm just going to drop quite happily right there. And as you can see, my guy's like digging around and quite happily doing stuff. Alright, so skeletons are like, they're clones. All bodies in this are like clones. And these guys have been rejected. They're like held together by a thin layer of plastic. But I've got these drones. I've given them like a really small, like just a digging tool kind of thing. And then I've basically just told them to go let rip. They don't have jetpacks. They don't have armor. They're really, really vulnerable. But the thing of it is, let me clean all this out so I can get another set in here. Another preset I like to use. The thing of it is that 2 anti-air drones and a medic drone, please, and thank you. Dropped in by a drop ship. Yes. There's nothing else coming, is there? Nope. I'm going to be quite happy and drop these like here. So this is the tactic I like to use, really. And as you can see, they may be really basic, like the cheapest unit. They're incredibly fragile. But they are digging a considerable hole incredibly quickly. So that's kind of why I've got them, really. And as a result, I am now outstripping the AI by a considerable margin. Because the AI is still just digging with their basic bot, while I am actually starting to strip mine the entire area. So, hooray for resources! And I can buy... It's 860 to drop this particular loadout in, so not yet. I've got to watch my funds, because this is the tactic I use now. It's my go-to kind of thing. I like to deny the airspace to the enemy as much as possible, rather than try to outright fight them. I mean, they can call in their, like, their top troopers, their soldiers, their monsters, and I'll go, hey, yeah, sure, come on down. I'll just tear your dropship straight out of the air, and the AI doesn't seem to know how to counter this. So maybe it's a bit cheesy, maybe, but, you know, possibly. I should probably... Okay, I've got enough for an additional anti-air pod, as I call them. I call in a medical bot with 2 anti-air, because 2 anti-air just shards any dropship out of the air. I'm going to call it on top of my actual mining site. Yeah, the AI has only got that single brain bot, but because of my big digging team, they're actually doing a lot better now. So yeah, there we go. So the medical bot will keep the anti-air bots healthy if something does manage to land or damage them. For the most part, they aren't indestructible. Like, the enemy can just crash a dropship on top of them or something, and that does happen sometimes. But let's go ahead and go to the buy menu. I said this basic tech, which is like all these different clones, like cold clones now, because it's like they're kind of defective in some way. Was that a dropship coming in? It was. Okay, time to defend this side again. Protect me! Wait, where are they? There you are. Long range suppressive fire! I bet you wish you'd worn a helmet. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, no, he's firing. Oh, I'm reloading. Ow. Right. Luckily, I managed to kill him, though. I could probably do with some kind of sniper, to be quite honest, which is... Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, there's a little bit of damage up there, but the medical bot is patching it all up, so that's all right. And because the enemy doesn't really have any digging forces, it's like... Now I'm just trying to reinforce the area and guarantee that I'm not going to get overrun. Save this preset, please, and I'm going to bring in an additional digging team because I like money. And I'll drop them straight there. Might as well use the hole that's already there, right? So yeah, the people in the Discord have been saying that the skeletons are really bad and they don't use them, but this is why I use them, because look at all this. Look at the hole they've made already. And the funds that I'm just rolling in at this point. It's like... Sure, they're absolutely pathetic in terms of most of their abilities, but the cost of these guys, you know? Okay, I think that's all of them set. Yep. And now those guys are quite happy tunneling as well. Ha 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 ha. Money! Okay, I'm going to grab this one. And I'll bring up my other prefab set, and I'll dump it like here. And I've got enough to fund another one, so I'm going to dump another one there. So I'm taking over the desert right now. The desert is mine, I say. And something I should mention, by the way, choosing your transport is important as well, because the different transports, like, they can deliver things more safely or more quickly, things like that. Like the dropships, they just drop directly onto where you've called stuff in. So that's why I'm getting these little clusters. If I called in a rocket, it would like thump down and throw things out to the sides and then take off again. I could take control of the dropships to, you know, operate them or send them up later with other things. Like I could go and salvage these weapons actually. And maybe I should do that. I could go and salvage weaponry and then send it up, because as soon as the dropship returns to orbit, you get a refund on the dropship depending on how intact it is. So if it's been damaged, you won't get as much money back. And you also get refunded for any cargo it's carrying. So I could loot these weapons that the enemy's thrown at me and then just send them back and sell them. Maybe I should do that. Oh, speaking of the enemy, that's actually incoming again. Protect me, guard drone! Protect me! I can get some more anti-air drops already. It's like just sitting here, trying to lock on a little bit. I can hear your jetpacks. I know you're there. Hello. What are you doing, really? Ow. Okay, they shot the weapon right off my anti-air drone, actually. So that's actually really bad. Let's grab another one. Right. Fire! So that's another thing, by the way. The bodies are destructible. Like, I think I just shot that guy's... Ow. No, you don't. Oops. Out of ammo. Reloading. No, the medical bot. They shot the leg off the medical bot. Ah! Fire! Fire, fire, fire. Dead. However, now this particular anti-air drone is now useless because it got hit and it's lost its gun, basically. So, you know, sucks to be that one. So I'm going to call in additional security. Call one there. So I'm going to call one there. And I can just garrison this entire darn place now, actually. And I can afford one more drop. Right, I'll drop it like here. So this is why air superiority is a valid tactic, because the dropships are much more easy to deal with self-guided anti-aircraft missiles than it is sometimes easy to deal with the other things. Though of course the problem is if you shoot things like dropships out of the air, you've got incoming debris because you've just blown up a flying aircraft of some sort, like the crashed one over here. So, you know, you've got to watch out for that kind of thing. All that kind of nonsense. But now I've actually planted an anti-aircraft site right on top of the enemy's excavation point. So it's like, hello! I'm taking over your space. And I can see that the actual commander's down there. I'm going to have to go in and root him out. Or I could set some bots in and do that, but I'm not too good with that. Oh, yeah, yes, I know. I was watching you. Turn off. Oh, I hit that to turn it off. Okay, right. That was my alarm. So it's like 20 minutes in now. And basically we got started, and this is my preferred strategy for dealing with AI. It's like deny them the ability to drop down the troops, because I really, really struggle to deal with the troops. And since everything comes from orbit, you know, it's a valid tactic. Where did I land, you guys? I'm going to land one up here, actually. One more and I'll have the entire surface of this planet covered. However, the timer just ended there, so, as I said, I've got to stop. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, and this is Cortex Command. Yes. See you all later.